Hello friends and enemies, and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about the Backrooms. Now, I'm sure that most of you already know what it is, but if not, here's a quick rundown. The Backrooms is the place where you end up when you no-clip the reality. Now, there's multiple levels to the Backrooms, but the community hasn't quite agreed upon how many levels there are, so I won't be focusing on that today. No, in this video, I'd rather talk about one of the groups of entities that are present within the Backrooms, that being the counter entities. These counter entities are aggressive humanoids made out of metal, mostly steel plates, small pipes, and industrial machinery. They wear and use counter-terrorism uniforms and gear. Now, the interesting thing about these counter-entities is that they will ignore wanderers of the Backrooms unless they have a weapon, in which case they will become more vigilant, but not immediately hostile. According to the wiki, these counter-entities are sentient and can feel emotions, although against enemies they have no mercy or empathy. The counter-entities are also hostile to almost every other entity in the Backrooms besides the wanderers, that being us, and the adult facelings. Now, the whole point of me making this video today was to talk about the possible connection that the counter entities have to humans like us. One thing that stuck out about them to me is how they aren't immediately hostile towards regular humans, almost like they have some sort of connection. Following this line of thought, I began to think about how time works within the Backrooms. According to the wiki, a wanderer only needs to drink some water once every month, while in reality you can survive only 3 days without water. That means that time within the Backrooms passes about 10 times slower than that of reality, taking into account that on average a month is 30 days. This got me thinking about how the structure of the Backrooms doesn't decay over time like in real life. If you have a house, after a while it will eventually start to decay and needing repairs. The Backrooms itself does not seem to be affected by times, while the things that enter the Backroom do seem to be affected by time. It made me think of a theory. This theory had to do with the whole goals of the entities in the Backroom. Clearly they are hostile towards humans. And since humanity has opened a door inside the Backrooms, it made me think that since humanity has done that, the entities have been actively trying to escape into our reality, where they can have a feast upon all the humans that are there. With this line of reasoning, I began to theorize that the counter entities are just humanity in the far-off future, where a good portion of entities from the Backrooms were actually able to escape into our reality and created an apocalypse. Due to this, humanity started to integrate mechanical devices into their bodies to better fight against the entities of the Backrooms, to better survive in general. And they also must have created a second portal into the Backrooms to enter and destroy the entities before they can begin leaking out into reality through the main portal. Now, going back to what I already stated about time, I think that if humanity made one portal in the Backrooms, let's say in the present 2000 whatever year it is, and then created another portal in the future, I think that both these portals would lead to the same Backrooms, yes. But since I don't believe that time is a force that actively affects the Backrooms themselves, it must mean that the Backrooms is in a void of sorts. This would mean if you enter the portal in present day and somehow were able to exit and return to our reality, only to many years from now, in the future, enter the Backrooms again, I believe you could hypothetically run into yourself. Since the Backrooms are essentially some type of pocket dimension that is devoid of time, where all the events of the Backrooms happen to occur in one continuous never-ending moment. This is why when the Wanderers come across the counter enemies, they are not hostile, because they're essentially just less advanced past versions of themselves. It's similar to thinking how a modern day human would react to seeing a caveman. Yeah, it's a bit odd, but as long as they're not actively trying to hurt you or have some type of weapon, I wouldn't pay much mind to them. It would seem to me that these counter entities come for the future and enter the Backrooms once again to destroy the other entities of the Backrooms, to stop them from being able to leak out into their reality and ours to better their reality. See, because for them, humanity didn't take an active effort into trying to stop the entities from the Backrooms to leaking out, and it ended up forcing humanity up against the wall to the point where, yes, they needed to integrate literal machines into their body to survive and fight back. Now, this is where I'm going to end off the first part of this theory. In the future, I do want to dive further into the intentions of the company that made the initial portal to the Backrooms, that being Async. If you enjoyed hearing me talk about the backrooms, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. This is a relatively new channel, so I'm still trying to figure out what type of content I want to make here. If you have any suggestions for me, feel free to leave them down below, as well as I appreciate any comments you have about the backrooms themselves. I appreciate your support nonetheless, and until next time, I'll see you.